been a contender? Well, that quote is from On the Waterfront, and it's one of the most famous lines in movie history. After years of losing, the Reds are making sure they don't miss their chance. On the front page centerpiece this week, the Reds go all in to turn around their fortunes and become a contender. That's the sound of a ballpark getting ready for the season. The grounds crew took the grow blanket off the field at Great American this week and mowed for the first time this season. The blanket tricks the grass into thinking it's spring, so it comes out of dormancy more quickly. And speaking of dormant, it's looking a lot like this is the year the Reds we all know and love will be back. But because of the coronavirus, we'll have to wait a bit longer. And make no mistake, when the new Redlegs hit the field, it's not just fans who think this year will be different.
I do think we're better than we were last year, significantly. I think we're better on the field. I think our players are better. I think we're better mentally. I think we're more prepared for a season. I think we're ready to. I think we're ready to win, not to just talk about it, but we're ready to go out there and act on that.
And the reason for the excitement is obvious. The team went on a big-time spending spree. The $164 million haul includes all-star second baseman Mike Moustakas, outfielder Nick Castellanos, pitcher Wade Miley, and sought-after Japanese outfielder Shogo Akiyama. And that's brought on an optimism not seen in a decade. Well, Courier reporter Steve Watkins got the tough assignment of writing about that optimism, and he's here with editor Rob Dotmeyer.
Thank you very much, Steve. Thanks for being here.
Glad to do it.
So the coronavirus, as you mentioned, is going to delay the season. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's going to be delayed at least 2 weeks. It was supposed to start Thursday, March 26th. So we're going to have to be patient and wait just a couple more weeks. As difficult as that is for fans, more difficult this year because things are so optimistic for the Reds. And it's still a wait and see kind of thing. It could be delayed even further. The main thing is stay tuned, and there will be baseball at some point this year.
So we're a business paper, so we try to write on the business angle of sports. Cincinnati is one of the smaller markets in Major League Baseball. How did the team sign all those players that Kyla just listed?
Yeah, there's a few factors that go into it. The first thing, most obvious, is owner Bob Castellini decided to boost the payroll significantly. It's up 10 to 12 million from last year. It's the highest of all time for the Reds, around $134 million, depending who makes the team and a few other factors. But just making that decision was a big part of it. But I talked to general manager Nick Kroll, and he talked about some of the moves they've made, actually going back to December of 2018, that allowed them to boost the payroll this year. They traded Homer Bailey away. That saved $8 million. He actually said that freed up money also for them to sign Sonny Gray, who we just saw, sign him last year after they acquired him in trade. So they did that. A lot of it is, there are a couple other guys they didn't bring back. Jared Hughes and Kevin Gausman would have made significant money. So it's a lot like chess. They're looking a few steps down the road, and it's paying off.
So they've been mediocre to bad for 5 or 6 years now.
Yep.
Why the spending now? What is so special about 2020?
There's a few factors there. One is they've got more TV money. They signed a new TV deal a couple of years ago, so that frees up a little more cash that they can deploy when they want to. And part of the reason to want to do it this year is the other teams in the division really aren't spending. The Cubs, Chicago Cubs, are the big market team in the division, and they are up against the luxury tax cap. They didn't really spend on anybody, including Nick Castellanos, who they probably would have brought back if not for that. So that opened the door for the Reds. Also, owner Bob Castellini has owned the team for 14 years. He promised a championship 14 years ago. He's probably getting impatient, wants to see some results.
Sure. So what do you expect, or what do the experts expect actually to happen on the field this year? Like I said, they finished 4th or 5th for a pretty long time now. What should we expect?
It's hard for fans to get used to the fact that they are an expected contender. It's been 6 straight years of losing records. The middle 4 of those were last place finishes. But we surveyed at least 4 different services that do predictions. They range from 83 to 86 wins, which is a winning record, puts them in contention. At least one of those, Baseball Prospectus picked them actually to win the division. Everybody expects it to be a close race. And I talked to Mark Carrig at The Athletic, and he said he'd be very surprised if they don't contend for the division title. So it's looking pretty good.
Well, assuming the season happens, we'll keep a close eye on the team, and hopefully a lot more fans coming down to Great American. Steve, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Tyler.